And we are live. It is July 6th, 2023, and here we are reviewing um, the E-mini futures contract. See the trading for the day. As always, start from the top down. So we have the yearly, and we are rejecting from this 44.84 area. Price did attempt to go above, but it is coming back. Ultimately, long term, we are pretty bullish, but we are past that 2 standard deviation. So I do expect a little bit of a retracement. Perhaps we get a reaction off of 43.80, but I am short term here a little bit bearish. Just have how overextended we are and the way we're reacting from 44.85. Go to the quarterly. Can't really use the quarterly. New quarter just began. Not really useful. Um, would like to see us test 43.62 and then kind of see how we react to this um, high volume node. We do have this kind of a ledge here, so there could be buyers in this area to look for that. Off to the monthly, we do have an interesting reaction. We do dip into the previous um, value area, but ultimately that is just the same as the weekly. So the monthly right now, this is basically, this previous value area is the same as the weekly, or I mean the developing value area. I'm sorry. This is the same as the weekly. This is not. So we are watching for reactions of 44, 42. We do have this high volume node, and it kind of tapers off here. So I'd say the curve kind of ends at the 44.23, and it did line up. This is overextended, so this could have been an extreme fade with confluence from this ledge here. And this is also going to match up if we look at the weekly. So the weekly, as I said, we are 2 standard deviations looking for an extreme fade. I mean, we've been kind of under it for a while, but that in addition to this prior VWAP, and we get a nice bounce off of it, prior VWAP, and then we do have this nice profile where we do have that ledge. Look at the TPO charts. So we did have the 4 days of balance. We finally opened and build value down here. So we opened, kind of tested around, and we eventually closed. So we ran down. In fact, let's take a look. So came down here. I kind of tested the edge here and then ran back. So that the value area of 44.19 would have been a good line in the sand. And we'll go to the execution charts. So if we look at this is the 3-minute ETH. So we know overnight, a little bit rotational, trying to go and bounce down, rotational. Then we finally start selling down from 741. We get a nice little pullback, and then this would have been some good trading. So price continues in this downtrend. This would have been a nice opportunity short here and here. In fact, I did get short right here at 44.30, and I was holding. I had one take profit at 44.23, and then I had another profit at 44.20, which coincidentally was kind of close to where price did turn around. So this was imbalanced down the whole time. You could have tried this return pullback. You do have the value area along with it is the 1 standard deviation. It would have been a little early. Once price does accept into there, then you would have looked for other opportunities. But we do have some overlapping value, overlapping CVAs. So did have one of my take profits here, and I had another one just above here in case we did get a bounce, and in fact we did turn around here. So did good timing. Managed to get with the multiple contracts I was using, I did get 18 points, so I was happy with that on very little risk. I think maybe a 2-point stop, so that's good risk to reward. And then rest of the day we kind of chug along, and there wasn't really anything good opportunities besides that little pullback. And if we look at the RTH, we're maintaining that VWAP, Nice little pullback short here at 957, and that's 44.33. Could have continued to ride this down. Taking profit along the way. Do push above, nothing really happens. This was kind of like the last push. And in fact, let's take a look at the delta. So we are kind of going down. Delta is going sideways, so this could have signified to us that this isn't the strongest move. As you can see, we have that pullback here. And then we have some heavy selling, stronger selling. But it doesn't get us really past here. So it's a little bit of a divergence there. And then we continue to keep trying to sell, but we just cannot push past this 1.5 standard deviation. And so that could have clued off to us that there are trap traders in here. Then price starts to take off. We get this nice little pullback, and the delta does confirm that we are continuing upward. And we'll take a look at the volume profile. So yesterday didn't really affect today in terms of the regular trading hours. And if we take a look at the footprint, let's see if the footprint has my it does have my value area. Okay. So as you can see, we open a lot of volume taking place. Nobody's really in control. Auction lower. Kind of back and forth movement. A lot of heavy selling. As you can see, so we tried to go long here, so that we had a nice delta flip, so we had negative 1,500 to positive 2,300, which possibly would have tried to take a long here at 44.23, but price not too dark a shade. We do get a blue shade here, but then the selling continues, and then ultimately we get a lot of selling here. So we know that if we can get above this, then sellers are kind of getting in trouble. But yeah, look at those very dark shades. Come up, dark shades, dark shades, dark shades, and then we finally turn around. Delta picks up, and then we're off to the races from there. So for tomorrow, what will the plan be? Well, first of all, let's merge these profiles. So if we look at the weekly, we are it looks like we are attempting to accept inside. So if we can accept in here, I would like longs from 44.40 or wherever the VWAP is. So this would be my bullish line in the sand. If we lose this, I expect more down movement. And I would expect the bears to try to fight for 44.56 and see if they can hold that area. If we're just taking a look at the profiles, if we test here, I would like a little return pullback into value. I want to see us test this area. But it looks like we did respond pretty strong. Once we got here, one time framed up, and then kind of settled down up here. So I would like to see us test 44.54 and then continue upward and see if we can fill that gap of 44.64. So we'll see what happens. Ultimately, we're going to play this agile and not going to make any rash decisions here. Interesting profile, very split up. A lot of volume here at the point of control. So I would look at, I guess, 44.50 for potential shorts, as the volume did not get back up there, and then just kind of watch these low volume nodes. But ultimately, anything can happen. I most likely would probably lean on the weekly is levels of 44.56 and 44.39. Anyway, that's been the review for today. I hope you all enjoy, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Happy Friday.